Friedrich August Stüler was an influential Prussian architect and builder. His masterpiece is the Neues Museum in Berlin, as well as the dome of the triumphal arch of the main portal of the Berliner Stadtschloss. Life. Stüler was born on 28 January 1800 in Mühlhausen. In 1818 he started studying architecture and became a student of Carl Friedrich Schinkel in Berlin. After traveling to France and Italy together with Eduard Knoblauch in 1829 and 1830 and to Russia together with Heinrich Strack in 1831, Stüler became Hofbauinspektor, Hofbaurat and director of the Commission for the building of the Berliner Stadtschloss in 1832. In 1837, he planned the rebuilding of the Winter Palace in St. Petersburg, but failed to realize these plans because Tsar Nicholas I of Russia decided to rebuild the original Baroque Rococo palace instead of Stüler's Neo-Renaissance concept. Stüler then returned to Berlin, where King Frederick William IV of Prussia opened a huge array of tasks to him, making him architect des Königs in 1842. Together with King Frederick William, who had previously studied Italian architecture, Stüler incorporated classical antiquity and Renaissance architecture in what was to become Prussian Arcadia. They also conceived a recourse to early Christian motives such as the liturgy of the early church to avoid political problems with the contemporary church. After the death of Ludwig Pursius, Stüler assumed control of the building of the Friedenskirche in Potsdam in 1845. Joint journeys to Italy of Stüler and King Frederick William in 1858–59 deepened the Italian influence from medieval and Quattrocento buildings. His ideas for cast-iron architecture of the techniques he used for the Neues Museum are more likely influenced from a journey to England in 1842. Stüler died in Berlin, where he is buried in the Dorotheenstadt Cemetery. Works. While many of the buildings Stüler built were destroyed in World War II, a few were restored, not in the original ways, but one can still see Stüler's concepts on the outside, especially in the Jacobi Church in Berlin. Commonly, Stüler is viewed as a student of Carl Friedrich Schinkel as well as an architect of his own right, combining the wishes of Frederick William Schinkel's classicism and a new historicism of the Wilhelminian era, though he didn't refer to himself as a student of Schinkel. His works were 1827–1831, probably restoring of the Dorkisch Parchen. 1837 planned the restoration of the Winter Palace in St. Petersburg. 1834–1837 St. Peter and Paul of Nikolskoye, Berlin-Zehlendorf. 1839–1843 Schloss Altorz. 1842 Conversion of the Kurfürstliches Schloss in Koblenz. 1842–45 Addendum to the Franziskaner Klosterkirche in Berlin. 1843–44 Jagdschloss Letzlingen. 1853–55 Dorkisch in Basedow. 1843–1855 Neues Museum. 1844–1845 St. Jacobi Kirche in Berlin-Kreuzberg. 1844–1863 University of Königsberg. 1844–1846 St. Matthäus Church, Berlin Tiergarten. Around 1845 Royal Castle in Breslau. 1845–1854 Friedenskirche in Potsdam. 1845 Evangelical Church in Wildtrabenderhöhe. 1845 Plans for the Emanuel Kirche, Sherwant. 1846–1856 Interior design of the reconstructed Roman Palace Auditorium, Trier. 1847–1853 Castle of the Fürstenradelin in Yarogen. 1847–1863 Belvedere of dem Pfingstberg, Potsdam. 1848–1852 Church in Kapith, Brandenburg. City Church St. Johannes in Nijmegen, 1848–1866 National Museum of Fine Arts in Stockholm, 1850–1867 Berg Hohenzollern, 1851–1864 Orangery in Potsdam, 1851 Triumphal Gate Muhlenberg, Potsdam, 1851 Schwerin Castle, 1853 Church in Rietavas, Lithuania, 1851–1857 Bridge over the Vistula in Dachau, 1852–1859 Barracks of the Garde du Corps across from Schloss Charlottenburg in Berlin Charlottenburg, 1853–1856 Restoration of the Luther House in Lutherstadt Wittenberg, 1854–1855 Bornstädter Kirche, Potsdam, 1855–1861 Wallraf Richards Museum, Cologne, 1857 Addendum to the Church Street, Johannes in Berlin Moabit, originally built by Schinkel, 1857–1860 Trinitatis Church, Cologne, 1858 Verdischkirche, Werder an der Havel, 1858–1859 Dorkisch in Stolp, Berlin Wannsee, 1858–1874 Domkandidatstift in Berlin Mitte, 1859 Conversion of Schloss Protzel, 1859–1866 Neue Synagoge in Berlin Mitte, 1859–1861 Schlosskirche of the Jagdschloss Letzlingen, 1859–1862 Dorkisch Pinot, 1860–1864 Klassizistische Orangery of the Zehner Vincenzi, 1860 Timber-framed church in Dittmannsdorf, 1862–1865 Hungarian Academy of Sciences Budapest, 1862–1876 Alta National Gallery in Berlin Mitte, 1864–1866 Farkisch Street, Nikolai in Oranienburg, 1864 Concept of the 12 Apostle Church in Berlin Schöneberg, built 1871–74 by Hermann Blankenstein, 1865 Conversion of the Castle of Neustadt, 1867 Stadtkirche in Fehrbellin,